Okay. So y'all, I seen um the trailer for the second Wicked movie. And I was like, I told my friends, yeah, you gotta go see that because it looks like it's full of drama. And like the person who's not the villain or who is the villain is not really the villain. And I didn't see the first Wicked movie because it just didn't seem that interesting. Honestly, it didn't seem that good to me. And I was telling them I need to go see it, but they was like, no, girl, you need to watch the first one first. But I'm like, y'all told me the overview. Well, I gotta watch the first one. I feel like the overview was good enough. I got what I needed to know. Spark notes, basically. I spark noted it. Good enough for me. So my friend was like, Katura, and I'm gonna tag her. She was like, you should do a review of the movie or whatever. You know how they be doing. You watch the movie and then you say what you gotta say. So I said, yeah, girl, that's probably the only way I'm gonna watch Wicked. So I'm doing it now tonight because I took a nap and I'm gonna be up all night. So stay tuned. Now Miss Girl Mama was freaking and geeking and sneak. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. Okay. But also good to know that like she was kind of doomed from the start, it seemed like. So I guess we'll see. So okay. Listen, my friends already told me basically again that Elphaba, she really a good girl. She really apparently she just got caught up in the wrong things, wrong place, wrong time type stuff. Um so the fact that they all singing and happy and stuff, it makes me upset. And the fact like the whole Wizard of Oz, again, like we are like praising the fact that she's dead and it's just like it's really the good and the bad. That's it brings up the question like what's really good, what's really bad. We kind of live in the gray. So yeah, and then Miss Pink Girl over here. I don't even want to say her name right now because again, I'm just 11 minutes in. We got 2.5 hours more to go. But the fact that she over here praising and singing and lighting the things on fire, even though she seems like a little bit sad though. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Again, I still ain't got into this stuff real good. And now you fronting in front of them people talking about, oh, we're not friends. Or that was a long time ago. We were just close in school. Don't do that, friend. Don't do that. That's real foul. Be honest. Let's be honest. Also, there's a chance that in the next 2 hours, my thoughts and views can completely change. You know, we'll see. 16 minutes in. I hate this whole fake nice thing. If at some point you want to address the problem, I'll help you. And everybody's swooning and crooning. No, it seems so fake. But also, Ariana just looks so light skinned. Like, normally she's just a little bit darker. She just seems so much paler in comparison. And I don't know if they did this on purpose or that's just her natural skin color. But I don't know. I just like that and the fact that Elphaba, whatever her name is, she's green but also black. And I don't know. I just really enjoy that. Miss Green Girl real sassy. I love it. But also like after years my whole life of being tormented and bullied and judged, I'd be a little sassy too. I'm just saying. Yeah, I just can't keep my comments to myself. I'm just saying. Every little thing I have to comment on. Because this stepdaddy, this she getting treated so wrong by this man, and I really hate that for her. But you know what? That's life. And again, if she was truly the villain, I completely understand why. Okay, it's Elphaba and Galinda, not Glinda. Galinda, girl. That's funny. So with Elphaba being the whole green thing and being a powerful magician, witch, whatever, it reminds me of basically Frozen. Frozen is my, I don't know how to say it, but Frozen is like what I compare everything to, with the conceal, don't feel, don't let it show. And I feel like a lot of shows that deal with magic and like people's just natural power, they're always taught conceal, don't feel, don't let it show. It always comes out in a way that winds up hurting people when they do use it, instead of it being nurtured and nourished and, work with while they're young, so it doesn't become this big bad thing. So yeah, it's given like Frozen, but like old, grown. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but it's like, they trying to shut the animals up and like quiet the animals. So I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder who's doing it. Probably Oz, because he's the bad guy the whole time, right? So yeah, this is interesting. Not they killing off the animals and silencing them and eating them, and you know, but the animals are like the most powerful because they are nature. So yeah, this is this is wicked. This is terrible. But not gonna lie, it's kind of good. I just be honestly, I be so late on the buses and the trains and the fandoms, but it's okay. I'm stubborn as a bull. I really can't help it. But when I get there, I'm there and I get you. So I just be needing time, I guess. But also, I'm not sure if I asked, what are we silencing the animals for? If things aren't that bad, why they gotta be quiet? Why can't they teach the things? Why can't they speak up? So obviously something's going on here. Okay, my hour in. They're about to go to the little Oz, the prom, some dance or whatever, and it's constantly like she's doing things out of the goodness of her heart. But y'all know they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So yeah, that's really what this is giving. Um, yeah, and it's really giving me who's the true villain. And it's giving Galinda girl, cause yeah, just nasty, just real nasty. Oh, my girl just want to belong. They humiliated her. She did her little dance ritual thing with the hat. Like, it's so sad. Everybody just laughing at her again. Like, I see why she's the villain, or she has every right to be the villain. Honestly and truthfully, she has every right, because at every step of the way, they humiliate her, and it's not cool at all. I hate it so badly. But I don't know, we'll see. But also I love how she was like, hey, you did a solid for my sister, I'm gonna do a solid for you. And she helped her roommate out. And so yeah. Now Galinda's having a little emotions and stuff like that. But again, we'll see. Also, I think what I say I'm enjoying about this, you have Elphaba, who is constantly getting ridiculed and criticized and laughed at. Um, and like, you know, Glenda says she doesn't care what everybody thinks. Or no, the guy, that Galinda likes. Like, she doesn't care what anybody thinks, and I think that's admirable. And she's like, no, she actually does care, but she doesn't show it. Also, love that because same. But also, it's like Galinda cares what everybody thinks, and that's why she's a people pleaser. So it's like you have the flip side of two coins, or the same, the different side or flip sides of the same coin. And I'm excited to see how they work together to, I don't know, I wouldn't say fix it, but maybe empower each other and like, get each other out of each other's shell and grow and do the things. Possibly, because again, the first part was Miss Galinda girl still singing about the death of her old homegirl. No, no, I'm pissed. I'm pissed though. Like, it was a beautiful moment, but I'm pissed because literally 30 seconds ago, y'all were just laughing at Elphaba doing her little chicken dance or whatever. But now Galinda doing it and everything's fine. And it's like, oh, we're gonna try to do it too. No, y'all is bandwagon. I hate y'all. I hate y'all. Why would y'all do that? No, that's not fair. No, that's not cool. Y'all need to have a mind of your own. Not Elphaba feeling bad for blaming her mama death and Nessa being in a wheelchair on her. Like, this is the reason why secrets ain't good. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, one thing I get, right, because mama was sneaking and creeping and stuff like that. Of course she not gonna tell her daddy that, that's not hers or whatever. So daddy might not know. But also, it's just like, yeah. Yeah, it's just so messed up. Like, no girl, your mama was getting nasty with some other witch man or something like that and created you, and you probably not your daddy's, and that green drink is what made you green, and not anything else, but because mom was being nasty, your daddy don't know that, possibly, and that's why you green, not because something about the way their DNA came together, but just because your mama nasty. And now you think everything is your fault. That's a lot of, it's not guilt, it's shame. It's shame. She is shame. She feels shame. She feels like she is bad. But also that's the narrative that she had her whole life, is that she is bad. Not she did a bad thing, but just her existence is terrible. And it's sad that she had to live her whole life with that burden. And she's like, how many other people are living their lives with with shame of just like, I was born into this world like this. It's a lot, bro. But it's good. Yeah. Hold on. So I find it interesting, right? They replaced Dr. Dillamon with a white man, right? And not only do they replace him with a white man, but he comes in and says, yes, studying the past is great, or not even really that, but you need to look towards the future. Who that sound like? I'm just saying, like, wow. I mean, I didn't think Wiki was gonna drop some like gems like this. I thought it was just gonna be about a pink and green girl like fighting over each other and like who's really wicked or who's really not. Like, this is interesting. Yeah, I should have watched it. Should have watched it earlier. Yeah. But how did her poppy magic work on everybody but that man? Sir, what have you been doing? What type of wizardy warlock drugs have you been taking? But again, keeping animals locked up in cages, it's kind of self-explanatory. I feel there's no explanation needed. No lines need to be crossed. No I's need to be dotted. It's written out in plain English. But also, I'm curious to know how high up this goes. Like, the lady was like, it's not our choice. So, like, who has the choice? Is it coming down from Oz? Is it every faculty, every higher up involved, like every staff member of the school? How high do we go up? Because y'all know it be getting real mixy in real life. Also, is this cub lion that she rescued? Is it the lion? The Mina scary lion? I wonder if she gonna wind up rescuing Scarecrow in like 10 minutes too, though. Also, how is Pink Lady gonna feel when she realized Elphaba really like her man and her man really like Elphaba? I mean, her man is not her man. I'm just curious on how that's gonna go. Like, is that why she low-key might still be hating on Elphaba? Okay, so she got the letter from the Oz to meet her in Emerald City. So, right, from my understanding, from what my homegirls told me, that basically the Oz got Elphaba to do his dirty work. Without even knowing that, I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen next, just because like she said, she is the commotion. Like, she doesn't make the commotion, she is the commotion. Just everything she does, it doesn't necessarily negate it, but it's just like, it goes like right is wrong. Like, why? It's questioning everything. And it's just like, what is the best way to not have people question you? Is to shut them up or use them to your own benefit. And that's what it's giving. But also, it's just like, Miss Morrible, it's just like, that's again where I question, like, how far does it go? Is she in on it? Or does she really think she's helping the whole time she's hurting? Like, does she know how bad it is or how bad it gets? Or is everybody kind of living in a willful ignorance type state where they're not questioning what's going on around them? I don't think my review was supposed to be like this. I didn't expect it, but yeah. Glinda's niceness knows no bounds. She is just like the perfect witch. Good witch through and through. Love her down. And our friend Nessa is just realizing that her little man really ain't her man, and he's still obsessed with Glinda. But I'm glad she finally figured out that nigga ain't. I'm glad she's finally figuring out that he's not that great of a person that he says he is. Especially after that whole thing where Linda was kissing on old boy and stuff like that. So, yeah, she ain't deserve that. Miss Nessa Rose, love you down. You're so sweet. You just want to be loved. And they playing in your face, friend. It's a shame. So, in the end of, like, The Wiz or The Wizard of Oz, we learned that he was basically a quack. So, I don't know. Just, they're in Emerald City now, and they're doing, like, the little play. And it's, like, the absolute factual story of The Wizard of Oz, or The Wiz, or whatever he calls himself. And I don't know. It's just the words absolute factual is like it's absolutely a lie. It's basically what it sounds like to me. It's just like the fact that you have to. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's. I feel like the story of the Oz, the story of the Wizard of Oz, would have been just fine. Mm-hmm. But when you say the absolute factual, it's just like, oh, you really hyping yourself up for real. It's kind of like what they say, like the story will be told, like, basically the victor will tell the story. And it's what it's giving. But again, I could be lying. I could be lying. I gotta watch the rest of the movie. We got an hour left to go. We got an hour left to go. Lord Jesus. But yeah, so the absolute factual, it's absolutely full up. So again, we are still at the. Okay, so these are the thoughts that be going through my head when I'm watching a movie anyway. So y'all see how hard it is for me to watch movies and like stay quiet. But we're still at the part where they're telling the story. And if the Wiz can, the Oz man, can read the Grimoire. And it's given because he's a quack. And truly, thinking back like to the little movies or whatever, that he really didn't have the he wasn't who he said he was. So that makes me think he can't read the Grimoire, and every time he finds a person who's really good at magic, he brings them to read the Grimoire for him. But because he has the Grimoire, he has the power. Kind of like with the Bible. Kind of like with the Bible. King James, he could write whatever he wanted in the Bible. And because he was the king, and because it was the Bible, basically it was law. So that's really what this is reminding me of as I think and talk and watch. So yes, all of the things. Not they walking in the Oz and he got like the little animals, whatever, as his guards working under him. So they met the Oz man, and he's very charming. He has a way of like seeing your vulnerabilities and like making you feel good about them and making you feel like you belong. And it's like, that's great. That's fine. But like again, if Elphaba really isn't that bad, how does she turn bad? But basically, he's making her feel like she's a part of the system now. Like the thing that she wanted the most to belong is she's getting that. So again, like the Tin Man got his heart and the Lion got his courage and the Scarecrow got his brain. It's like he's giving people the things that they want. But also it's just like you're a part of the system now. Like now he can kind of dangle that over your head. Like everybody's so happy in Emerald City and in Oz or whatever, but it's just like Is this truly happiness? Is this truly freedom? Because freedom ain't free, kind of thing. I don't know. Okay, y'all. So Miss Horrible just showed up to the whatchamacallit. And, like, at first, I kind of understood her thing with Glinda or whatever. But, like, things have changed. And she's still being kind of like, even though, you know, again, Glinda's not the perfect person, but that's neither here nor there. Elphaba wanted her there as a support system for her. But it was just her side eye of that, and you know how her and Oz kind of embraced. It got me side eyeing her. So again, I don't know if it's Miss Morrible or Miss Horrible. Stay tuned to find out. We got 40 more minutes left. Baby, the Emerald Guard, the monkey, he was, first of all, screw the Oz, period, always and forever, because it opened up to a certain page, which I feel like I wish we knew the page. And then as soon as he said what he said about the birds, it immediately like switched, I guess, what she wanted or what she thought. So again, I feel like it opened up to maybe the Grimmy opened up to her heart's desires, but because she desires to help the animals due to Dr. Dillamon and all the other things, it opened up to a new desire that was implanted to her by the freaking Oz man. I don't want to watch the monkey getting his wings. He don't look happy. He don't look excited. He don't look comfortable. Yeah. It's making me just a little sad. Because since he can't talk, he cannot consent. He cannot say, yes, this is what I want. This is what I like. And that's exactly what the Osman wants. He wants to be able to control the things. And that makes me upset. Because them animals didn't deserve that at all. See, I knew it. I knew it, Miss Horrible. Miss Horrible. Also, y'all, I be a little sad when I be at the circus and seeing the elephants. And sometimes I be a little sad at the zoo, seeing the animals in the cages, not gonna lie. So, yeah. Because why y'all in captivity? I'm not gonna lie, if I was Miss Effie Girl, I would just burnt the whole thing down. Me personally. I don't like it. We're starting this over. I got the power. Y'all don't. You said you can only read 2 words. I read the whole thing and made the spell. I'm burning this whole place down. I don't care with the Osman in it. He can go. He definitely need to go. And Miss Horrible need to go too. I can't say like, ooh, yep, I'm great. My inside is great. I saw this coming because, again, I gotta do is think about the original movie, The Wizard of Oz. You know, this man is terrible. He has no real power. So yeah, we're to the point where Elphaba realizes that, you know, the wizard ain't whizzing nothing. It just sucks that she didn't have the proper teachers or the proper channels to, I guess, learn. But that also makes me think about the Wicked Witch of the West or whatever. Again, was she really bad? Because, you know, Glinda's also now saying um, hey, you should put it back. But also, this is reminding me of the Bible again. Um, it's just the names changing. Even though it didn't change too much. Um, but when, like, in the Bible, when God changed people's names or whatever, that was them no longer, I guess, being the person they were. So yeah, and just Glenda changing her name from Galinda, even though it's not that big of a name change, which I feel like that's kind of important in this context. And also, she chose to change her name to be with the people. And her, like, acting nicer, or she was nicer to Elphaba, but because she chose to change her name, and because the name wasn't completely different, I forgot the names of y'all. My memory's kind of bad, so I'm not sure if it was from Isaac to Abraham or whoever. Yeah, it was Isaac to Abraham. Like, because she chose it, it's not as powerful. So again, because she chose it, she's really the same person who's kind of putting on a front that she's new and that she's changed. And I feel like also that kind of relates to the beginning of the story, or the end technically, where they're praising the wicked witch Elphaba who died. I hope that makes sense. I just kind of be rambling. I definitely be rambling. And Miss Horrible, she says, you want to do yourself some good, get her back. And that has been the whole thing. What is good, what is bad, what is good, what is evil. And I'm realizing that's a major theme in my life, of good and bad, and realizing there is no good or bad. It's just kind of a gray space. Like, again, what's good for you might come in my detriment, right? Somebody's hungry, but they're stealing to make money, to get food, something. So it's just like, it harms me, but also you have to do it for your survival. However, it's like in these moments, like, he's not really doing it for survival. He's doing it for power and control. But again, for him, that's good. That's his good. Or good is the thing that's on the surface. It's like giving you, it's just basically, it's all a scheme that ties it up. That's really what it is. I'm giving you, like he said, I'm giving you a common enemy. But it's just like, I'm giving a common enemy a person to blame, a scapegoat. The whole time I'm the real enemy. And that's a lot. It's a lot. So good, bad, morals, right, wrong, evil. It's just, unfortunately, it's just all gray. So now Elphaba is the common enemy. She's the one that is to blame for everything that's going wrong. And there are only a couple people who know the truth. But again, like I said earlier, the story is always gonna be told by the victor. Okay, also, I'm watching this Prime Video Blu-ray X-ray, or Blue X, whatever, bonus X-ray, and they give little, like, tidbits and little facts or whatever. And one of them was about the color yellow, which basically saying like the color yellow means like guidance and enlightenment. Which Yellow Brick Road, which makes sense because they're going down the Yellow Brick Road, easing down the road, and they're on the path towards enlightenment. And that's truly what they get at the end of the day. Like Dorothy and all her folks. But it just made me think of in the movie, this movie, when he was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm creating the things, and I'm trying to figure out what color I want to make the road." The first road was red. Hell, that's all I could really think of. Kind of now, like reflecting on it now, it's just like, dang, it's crazy that the first color that shows up is red, and you know, just all bad. But it turns to yellow, which is cool. It's cool. But for me, it kind of, if you didn't see the wizard and thinking about this, it kind of foreshadows, like, again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, even though his intentions aren't good. I think his intentions aren't good. I'll say that much. So I'm not gonna use the term good. I'm gonna use altruistic. I just had to look that up just to make sure it didn't say anything about good. But altruism is selfless concern for the well-being of others without care for one's own interest, unselfishness. And I feel like, again, in this instance, you see who's being altruistic and who isn't. Yeah, that's really what it is. Not good or bad, but who's being altruistic. And I think I feel like that's the idea or the thought that we think of when we think of good or bad. We're really meaning altruistic. Are we being selfless? And truthfully, I don't be selfish. I be selfish. But I'm trying to learn and grow and get out of that. Again, okay, I'm at the part where she did the thing. And I don't know, it just, I'm still thinking about the monkeys and how they got their wings. And how he basically had to shut them up because basically he didn't want them to talk. And not only did he want them to talk, but like Christy, that's not his name. I forgot his name, y'all, but I'm gonna call him Christy. The main guard or whatever, monkey guard in there, he got his wings. And like if he was able to talk to the other monkeys, he would have been like, hey, this is what happened, right? He would be able to tell the truth. But because they can't talk and communicate with each other and like that, even though I feel like they should still be able to talk in a little monkey language or whatever, and even if they were able to do that, right, they just went through something very traumatic. But also Miss Horrible just threatened them and was like, hey, the green girl did that to y'all, and if y'all want to keep y'all family safe, y'all gonna have to do something about it. Like, they didn't have a choice. So like, they're doubly, triply bound by not having a voice, having their livelihood threatened or whatever, and just, again, being in a traumatic thing. I feel it was terrible for the Wiz or the Oz man to be like, yeah, Christy be looking at the birds and be, just so amazing. It's just straight up manipulation. I hate that for them, for real. I really genuinely do. It makes me so sad. I didn't realize that the Divine Gravity, when she left on her broom, was the last part. But yeah, okay, movie, honestly, 10 out of 10. Loved it. The music was great. I'm sorry, friends. Once again, y'all were right. Y'all were right. Um, and if so many people are right about Wicked, maybe I should watch Hamilton. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll try it, I guess, one day maybe. But overall thoughts, feelings, emotions. I mean, it's the same. I really hate that she was deemed the Wicked Witch. And she got that name. And again, I really hate that Glenda was just like, yes, we're singing and you threw the torch. You threw the torch to burn your homegirl stuff down. Like, I hope you're happy. Like, do you? Like, again, we always known Galinda or Glenda to be self-absorbed and selfish and entitled. And truly, in the end, she got what she wanted. She wanted to be a protege from Miss Horrible, and she probably wound up ended up doing that. Yeah, I can't wait till the other movie comes out. I'm definitely gonna go see it. Sorry, y'all, it took me so long. It wasn't appealing. I just needed the story. I needed the story. But also, when my friends told me the rundown, I felt like that was good enough. I didn't have to watch it. I mean, I'm glad I did, but I feel like they did a good job of like telling me what happened. Also, love them down. Very impassioned. They're very passionate people. So when they were telling me, they told me all the things. Yes. So at first it was Elphaba's not really the villain, which still holds true. She's not the villain. Never was the villain. She just a person of color, literally, that has empathy and is altruistic. And it was we hate Glenda, and she didn't necessarily we hate Glenda, but that's what I got from it. So it's not that we hate Glenda, but we dislike her because at the end of the day, she was still selfish. However, it seemed like she was about to run off with Elphaba, but then the people called her. So it's just kind of like we stuck here. Somebody has to do the thing. So, and it's like at the end of the day, right? Somebody has to do the thing. This is gonna sound weird, be weird, but also when I was thinking of this, Hitler came up to my brain space. And it's the thing of good or bad, right? That the road to hell was paved with good intentions. And it's very hard to say that about something so bad that Hitler did. But I brought up Hitler because I heard somebody say that at the end of the day, if it wasn't Hitler, it was still going to be something or somebody very bad. Like Stalin was bad. Like, you know what? That's gonna be bad. I'm gonna say it's bad. It's morally and objectively bad. I don't care what you say, what you feel. Just killing off millions of people because they don't look like you and the religion is not what you, whatever. It's bad. But just at the end of the day, when it came to filling the space that Germany needed, like somebody was gonna do it. Whether it was Hitler, whether it was somebody worse or somebody slightly better, that it was still gonna be something, and it was still probably gonna be bad. I forgot what it was and who said it. But yeah, it just reminds me of at the end of the day, like in Wicked, like everybody was still happy, right? Um, they just needed a placeholder, right? They needed somebody to fill the spot of the bad person. They needed somebody to fill the spot of like the good person. So like Elphaba was the scapegoat. It was no longer the animals. It was no longer the animals. It was Elphaba. But also like when it came to the goodness, like we still needed the goodness around and had that positivity. Oh yes, pretty. It makes my heart feel good, so I don't have to think about the bad things. So Glinda was still there. I guess that being said, why I thought about Hitler is just no matter who. I don't know, and I'm not gonna edit this out, but no matter who or what, there's still gonna be a placeholder. So, like, because again, I plan on making this public, so I plan on like trying to be as not only politically correct and not necessarily politically neutral, but I ain't trying to post nothing that somebody gonna see and I'm gonna get fired. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to be very careful with my words, but still hold true to how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But just at the end of the day, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna be the bad person. How bad is it? Who knows? But unfortunately, there are roles, there are slots. Like, again, it's like history repeating itself. And it's just, this movie is reminding me of what we're going through currently. But also I feel like Wicked it's kind of like a art imitating life kind of thing. Like, whether it was the Wiz, whether it was or the Ozman being the main person of power, and there being higher ups who also like play a big role in the bad things that are happening, who are complicit. It's just like all the people, not all the people, but like the people who know the truth that's going on. But again, yeah, there's just gonna be, unfortunately, like Goatman was saying, like Mr. Dillerman, history is gonna repeat itself. That's why we need to know it, instead of just bringing in cute little lion cubs and, you know, distractions. So yeah, that's my ramble. I'm gonna have to look up that Hitler thing, because I feel like I was able to connect it, but not really. So it's kind of confusing. But yeah. The movie was a lot. It was a lot. I truly, okay. When I first heard about Wicked, I didn't really look too much into it. I didn't read up on it. Like, I knew it was going to be like the prequel to The Wizard of Oz, like what really happened. But I didn't know it was going to be this charged with information and jam-packed. So it's definitely it's a good movie to watch, to enjoy, to experience. And just, you know, what role are we playing in the system? Are we complacent? Are we compliant? Are we doing what we need to do to maintain our own sanity and safety? I feel like, you know, we're all people. We're all individuals. And I feel like whatever role you choose to take is your role. And again, like they said, I hope you're happy with whatever role, whatever thing you choose, whether it's to be completely against it, to be an activist, to do something to change it, to you just doing the little things and the small things in your life to kind of, I hate to say it, but buck the system. Or if you're wanting to be completely compliant and with the system, I just hope you're happy. Like, you know, just be happy, but also like like I tell my clients at work sometimes, it's okay to have bad days, right? Or it's okay to be complicit in the system or non-complicit in the system. Just don't make it everybody else's problem. That's just my thing. It's like, I don't care what you do, how you do it, who you doing it with, as long as you ain't hurting nobody or yourself, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I hope y'all happy. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye. Okay, y'all, I found the information I was looking for about Hitler and the theories and how it was related to Wicked, right? So basically, this was back from, because I couldn't remember if I learned it off the internet or like in school. And I realized it was in school because I went to school for psychology, and I guess it was just so long ago I forgot where. But I think it was in my social psychology class, if I'm not mistaken. Staking, girl. Lord Jesus, child. But the theory, or it's like the leadership theories. So it started off, I guess, with the great man theory of like, leaders are born with it. Like, they're not really, they're made. Like, they were born to lead. Okay, so I'm on Very Well Mind. This is not from my understanding, probably a reputable website, but it had a list of theories that kind of helped make it make sense and put it together for me in a way that I could communicate it. So yeah, the great man theory is basically like leaders are born with like the great leadership abilities. They didn't really, I wouldn't say they didn't work for it, but again, from a baby. But that brings up, like, if leaders are born with it, that means, like, of course, other people can't learn to be leaders. So for me, thinking about Hitler, and just how he rose to power or whatever, he rose to power during the Great Depression. And unfortunately, it was a time where people didn't have no money. People were hungry. People were dying. People were sick. All that other good stuff. So, like, there was, like, a need to not do the things and be the things, like, not be hungry, not be sick. They needed a way out. And Hitler, he kind of staked his claim on that of just like, well, I kind of have what it takes, or I know what we can do to get out of this Great Depression. Okay, cool. Now, it took a turn where, that whole thing happened, the Holocaust. So, yeah, that's not great. Not great at all. But I think it was not the great man theory, but it was like let me see. It was just kind of like an environmental thing of like, there was a vacuum of power, people were in need, and he was the one that was able to come forth and say that he could do all the things, and they put their faith in him. And to tie it into Wicked, right? So as we saw, they had the whole thing of telling them how the Oz man got into power or whatever. Basically, no one could read the Grimoire because everybody had died, and basically they were needing a leader. A leader was needed in both situations: the Great Depression, compared to now and in Wicked. So he was like, hey, I see the need of there being a leader, and he was able to go in and take power by bamboozling the people of Oz because no one else could read it. Like, he had, and it's not like, I feel like it's not necessarily a great man thing, but it's like someone who thought that they had what it takes to become a leader, and they saw again the vacuum of power or the lack of power that was in the situation, and he was able to step up in the way that the people needed him to. And unfortunately, it didn't have great effects for everybody. Like, so for instance, in Wicked, the animals were they were ostracized and made to not talk and held and bred in captivity. So this is not necessarily to compare Wicked to Hitler, but more so just what came up for me when watching it, and how the two, I say not to compare, but it is straight up a comparison, but how the two kind of relate and correlate or whatever. And again, I feel like Wicked said it the best. If we don't learn our history and we're so focused on the future, we are not going to realize how we are recreating those cycles. So yeah, Wicked is great. Wicked has so many meanings. A lot came up for me. Go watch it.